Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Bahrain Grand Prix. It's the second Grand Prix in this season of 18 Grand Prix. We're going to look at the positions after Australia here. We saw that Chris got a pretty good lead here. David and Michael coming in P2 and P3, Elijah and the McLarens down to P4, 5, which brought them up into third place ahead of Ferrari, while Mercedes and Red Bull are in the lead right now. But obviously this is going to change as this is a really close race here. It's only second race of the season. We have Michael on pole position along with David and Caden right behind him, Elijah in P4, Dylan, Austin, and Liam in the bottom three. We should see some great battling today. And it is lights out and away we go. Austin fails to start. Michael got a good start, but not as good as David as he gets ahead here. Michael's going to have to go out wide, try and take the long way. We see Elijah going in there on the inside, getting up into P3. And the McLarens make contact going in. They tap almost every driver. Luckily, Michael gets away, but David also gets a good start here. Caden goes back up into P3 as Elijah goes back down here. And they're flying now. We can already see the gap starting to form. And here they go, going down past turn 3. We see Elijah go wide in the background. We see Austin make the overtake around Dylan. They are going through these S's. Michael is still in the lead, but not too far behind is David as he goes off the track, and now Caden is starting to come up right in behind him. Here we are. We see that Liam there makes the overtake around Dylan as Dylan drops down to P7. Elijah's still not too far behind, but you can start to see the gap form between the top 3 and the bottom 3 here. Michael, you can look back here at the start of the race.
See, Elijah gets a pretty bad launch on the line, but it's not terrible with the slipstream. He takes the inside line here, and then you can just see the other McLaren come in as they both lock up into each other and take out David in the process.
And I mean, we could see Elijah here. He's still in the same position down into P4. He's kind of in a no man's land area. He's about 1.5 seconds between both drivers ahead and behind him here. But he's not a horrible driver. He can easily make up this time if he really pushes. Bahrain, though, does eat your tires up, and he may struggle here. But as we're coming up, we're going to see these two drivers. They're within a second of each other, which means David will get DRS up on the straight. We have the on-cam footage here. He's right behind Michael here. He's going to come up. He's going to stay right behind. He's probably going to wait till the next DRS zone, which should be up here in the next couple of turns.
You see David struggling in the dirty air here behind Michael.
I mean, taking this turn a bit on the inside here. Not as good of an exit as Michael had here, but he's still right behind him, just around the 8/10 mark. He hasn't really gotten anywhere closer to that, but that was a great exit. He could have a chance coming up here, but we believe Michael probably has some battery that he's using right now, so keeping him away.
So go through the S's here. David brings down the gap to 5/10. He could have a move for it on the straight if he gets a good exit here.
As Michael just uses his battery right out of the turns, out of the exits here, you see that he just gains that time, and now he's back up to the 8/10 mark. And you can see the gap from Michael and David has already risen to 2 seconds compared to the rest of the grid there. They're flying ahead. Honestly, Liam got back in front of Austin there for 5th place, and Stone is still far behind.
You see Dylan in DRS zone behind Austin, but he just doesn't look close enough to make any moves yet.
Yeah, starting first ever Grand Prix for Caden here, who has stayed in 3rd place the entire time. That would be a well-deserved podium for the first-time Ferrari driver. And we see the McLarens at P4 and 5. Compared to even Australia, they were right next to each other as well, which seems like they have similar skill levels, but I mean, together as a team, they could really do some damage if they got high.
Slow exit from David here as we see the DRS just diminish on the straight.
Yeah, and I mean, they're gapping the rest of the grid here though. Still, I mean, Michael is starting to create a fairly large gap between him and Dylan, but this could be worrisome if Dylan or even anyone else on the grid doesn't pick up their pace a little bit here.
And Dylan has dropped to 6.2 seconds behind Austin. Something clearly happened in the past few laps.
Yeah, I mean, we're now entering the fourth lap of the race here. We can start to see the grid. I would say like be evenly spaced out. All of them are around 3 seconds behind each other. Now, of course, David and Michael still leading now by about 4 seconds. David's hovering around the 1 second mark. I don't think he got DRS down this straight, so that could be troubling as Michael has consistently been faster throughout this second and third sector here. David may start losing time as grip is going to start falling because of how much Bahrain just eats out those tires.
It's almost as if every single driver is in just no man's land here, as we see not anybody has a DRS.
Yeah, I think what's starting to happen here is people are going to start preserving their tires instead of pushing to try and make overtakes. But I don't know, we could see some intense battling here in the midfield. Coming up to these S's here, we can look back at the start again from Elijah, which caused a lot of chaos out of this first turn. Like, he has a better launch than Caden. He gets up there into P3, taking the inside, maybe trying to dive on. He tries to get out of the way of those two, thinking he knows he's going to hit them already. And I mean, his teammate just absolutely destroys him from behind. He gets a little slide going up. Still chasing Caden, losing a little bit of time, but he's trying to keep it. And I think his tires may have been a little bit too cold here as he brakes way late, goes out wide, and he just loses all of that time that he was gaining.
He's just absolutely struggling with those temps on that opening lap.
He's starting to find his place here. He's 5 seconds behind Caden. Caden is 4 seconds behind David. But the gaps between everyone is starting to increase. And the issue will start to become like who is going to pit first, who will, like what is everyone's strategies here? Are they all different? Are they all really similar here? Because the pit window will start to open here like around lap 8 or so. So it'd be really interesting to see who pits first and what tires they go onto.
We see Austin getting DRS on Liam here. He seems to be gaining a lot of time, so he could be going for the overtake. And the overtake is done.
I mean, sadly we could not see it here, but I mean, it was probably fairly clean. Did not look like anything happened. I mean, he's already gained a second.
Liam does Liam have an issue? Yeah. Liam just seems to be losing time.
Yeah. And I mean, even Dylan now is within 5 seconds. He's stayed behind for about 6 seconds for a while now. And I mean, that gap is now closing. We could see a battle for that 6th position there between P6 and 7.
Oh, and I'm getting word from the pit wall here. Liam does have an issue. His wheel disconnected for about 20 seconds there, which is why he lost the position.
I mean, that's a big problem here. I mean, if that were to happen to David or Michael, that would be a that would be
race
huge.
Ender for sure.
Yeah, that would lose positions, a podium. That would give Caden the lead of the race, and on his debut, that would be a crazy and monumental achievement there. And I mean, as we're going around here, we can start to see the gaps are even opening up even more now. They were 3 seconds, they dropped down to about 2, but now there's 4, 7, and then a 5-second gap between positions 3, 4, and 5, which is really crazy when you start to think about it. Only on lap 6 of the race you can start to see the skill gap start to form here.
You see, Dylan seems to be making some gains here. He's brought the gap down from around 6.5 to 3.7 in the last few laps.
And David has started to fall off too, which is quite worrisome when you think about it. I mean, maybe his tire levels are tire wear starting to grow on him. It went from about 1 second just a couple laps ago to now 2.4, which could mean a lot here at the end of this race.
David seems to be falling further as Caden seems to be catching up. Maybe we could see a battle incoming between the two.
I mean, as time goes on too, though, we see the gap between Caden and Elijah even start to grow here, which was quite surprising considering in Australia we saw Elijah just drop the gap from like 20-30 seconds behind Michael to just 6 by the end of the race in around 8 to 9 laps or so, which was really impressive to see here. We don't see that same pace, and I'm wondering if maybe something is wrong with just both McLaren's cars, if it could just be a team issue or something.
Yeah, Elijah has shown to be one of the better drivers on tire wear. He loves the overcut. He made it work in Australia. Maybe he could make it work here in Bahrain.
Yeah, he would have to gain a lot of time here though on the Caden. Maybe it could totally be a mechanical issue here. We see David's POV here as he's struggling to keep grip. He is on the softs, which means they lose tire grip a lot faster than the mediums, which is what Michael's on, which could be the reason why he is so slow out of these turns. I would not be surprised to see him pit here. That looks like exactly what he's gonna do. We can see here what he's gonna go on to. Going onto the soft tires. That was a beautiful pit stop from the Mercedes team here. Caden behind him also doing the pit stop, trying to follow him in here. Elijah goes up there into P2, still those 16 seconds behind. That's a lot to gain. As the kick, as Austin joins and is now in P3 for the first time in his career. Now, this is not a net P3. He won't be there forever, but it's going to be interesting.
We're probably going to see some pit stops coming soon, as you can just see the graining on David's front left tire as he goes for a move here and gets absolutely wrecked by Austin.
And Austin has...
What?
That was horrible defending. I don't know what was going through his mind there. That was not how you race. David is lucky that nothing broke, but that has to be demoralizing. Drop down to P7. He is so far behind. Stewards are definitely going to look into that here.
David just took a moment to get his senses together, and then he starts going, and he's 12 seconds behind now. Okay. Can he make that gap up?
And as we see, I bet you news just got to Michael here. He's probably really happy. He's going there into the pits now. His biggest rival has now dropped super far, but that stewards are going to look into that. They're probably going to have to punish Austin here. Could be a penalty, could be worse, a disqualification here, because that was not good defending at all. He completely turned into him while he was on the back tire.
To be honest, we don't know what was going through Austin's head there, but
yeah, we see him in the background too.
Oh, what is going on in the back?
We do not know, but Caden luckily gets around him too after pitting, not getting taken out like David. But Michael is gonna have to chase up Elijah here, who is in the lead of the race. Is he gonna try and play defense here, try and keep it, slow him down maybe for his teammate, who's only 7 seconds behind compared to early in the race when he was up to like 16 seconds?
You have to wonder, how long is Elijah going to keep this overcut, as he seems to be losing time on those soft tires.
Yeah.
Medium, correction.
And he just goes off to the side. He does not want to play defense there and lose even more tire wear because he could be scared that he may slip out there. He is going to get DRS there, but as he goes wide, he won't be able to make much use of it there. I expect him to pit either this lap or the next to give the Ferraris a P1-2 here.
You see, David has already made up positions back to P3 with a 13-second gap to his arch nemesis. We'll see how that goes in the future.
I mean, I don't know. I expect there to be a lot of anger going through, like, like flying out through that cockpit. He's probably really angry here. We can look back at the start throughout everyone's positions. We could see Michael here. He gets an okay start, though not as good as David. He just makes that, like, he just launches off.
And you see here as we come around the corner, David just absolutely wiped out.
Did not
Michael
really
seems to
affect
suffer a
Michael.
little.
See Elijah here again.
And we're looking at Elijah's point of view for the third time. It's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of dissect here, though, obviously. I mean, we could see he has a great race start. You can see how he kind of turns, not trying to hit anyone at the end of the day. His own teammate hits him into the leaders of the race. But here we can see David's POV for the first time and how this affected. I mean, he just gets that. He starts to close off that position there to Michael, and as he goes on the inside, he gets tapped, spins a little bit.
See, he just gets wrecked into turn one.
Yeah. And I mean,
almost take the bullet with him.
I mean, here he is. We can see this again. You can see Austin even sliding a little bit. Well, yeah, and I mean, as he hits him right here from the yeah, I mean, that was not what you wanted to see as a Mercedes fan, but he is already up into P4, only 14 seconds behind Caden, who is out in P3. We can see Elijah there in the back. He's only 6 seconds behind, but that gap has increased over only a period of 2 laps, which is quite insane. I bet you we will see him there as he's coming down the hill, and we also see Caden not too far behind him here. I wonder when he's going to pit.
He's going to pit now.
Now the question is oh, when he slides going into the pits.
Loses it on the grass.
We're going to see here what he goes on, so I think it'll be the medium tire that seems to be the favorite for this race. I'm quite surprised that Mercedes put David on softs twice. As we've seen, tires do not last long here, so I would not be surprised if he makes another pit stop fairly soon. We see the leader of the race so far, 9 seconds ahead of his teammate, who is in second place. And just halfway through this race, he has increased this gap quite a bit. But David, surprisingly, has actually decreased the gap from him to first by a pretty large margin, if I do say so.
We see Dylan has finally caught up to Austin. He seems to be in DRS range.
Yeah, I mean, after we saw what he did to one Mercedes car, what's to think he won't do it to the other one? As the stewards are right now investigating it. I don't believe that it'll be a penalty. I fully believe it'll be a disqualification. But we will see here.
It's intentional.
Yeah, that was clearly intentional. Now the question is how do we fix it for David here? I mean, he was running a P2, potential P1. Do we give him those points, or do we give him the points that he deserved in P2? That'll be the question that the stewards decide to give themselves. Austin and David though are battling. Dylan are battling in the back for P6. They are dropping pretty far though behind the rest of the grid here. I would not be surprised if they get lapped by the end of the race.
See Dylan getting closer and closer to Austin. Maybe could be time for a move soon. If only we could see.
Yeah, I mean, as the first race being broadcasted out of this season, there's obviously going to be a lot of issues, but we're trying to be better with that. Hopefully we'll see more in the upcoming races in the midfield.
Certainly gives hope to a promising season.
I mean, we see the gap between David and Elijah start to grow a little bit, but with David being on the softs, you can only wonder how long he can go for before he has to pit again.
So see, Dylan has lost the DRS and Austin. Oh, Dylan has lost 6 seconds. Well, 6 seconds on Austin. Something has clearly happened back there.
It could be a spin out. We know that
The
Dylan is.
time seems to be
We know that Dylan is
glitching out, but
it is. Dylan is a um, new driver, so he's gonna have a lot of the issues. He's probably spinning out back there, but he's still definitely getting better with driving. He's a promising driver. We could see him score a couple podiums later in the year.
yes, as we see, the rookies coming into this season are Hayden, Austin, and Dylan.
Yeah.
Dylan would skipped F2 to go straight to F1. Shows a promising start, but obviously he's going to struggle in the beginning.
I mean, same with Austin here. They both skipped F2. Joining separate teams, obviously, and you could see them in the back. You could see that skill level. Caden taking his time through F2, you can truly see where he's you can truly see that experience is carrying him a long way. As David goes into the pits here.
The soft tires just were not the right strategic move for Mercedes.
Having that a disaster, if I do say so. Now they are putting him on these mediums here, but a lot of people who are going on the mediums know that they cannot last 15 laps. He's gonna probably have to pit again for something, for some new set of tires, as Austin is starting to close the gap here to him. We could see a repeat from when he first took his pit stop.
Oh, as we see, David lets Austin pass. He's just scared of that move, isn't he?
Yeah, he could be. We see Austin weaving here in the front. That's definitely going to get him something here, and it's they make contact.
Oh,
fully collided
contact.
with each other as David goes through, but he must have some sort of damage here on the wing or something. And I mean, we see the gap start to
Form between Austin and David is David just finally made it past and leaves him behind.
Yeah. I mean,
I wonder what David's engineer is hearing from the driver right now.
I mean, we saw that happen. He does have a drive-through penalty here, so he's gonna have to serve that. Obviously for hitting Austin now. We do believe
Unlucky.
the stewards have disqualified Austin. Now, he won't know that until the end of the race, so he's going to keep driving, but he will not be collecting any points, and the position he's at will be void, which means Dylan is going to get a P6 no matter where he ends up. As David serves his drive-through here, he drops down to P7. But we do also believe that everyone has at least one more pit stop to do. We go back to the race leader here. Now 13 seconds ahead of his teammate, who is 22 seconds ahead of Elijah down in P3.
David has just had an unlucky race. Contact into turn 1 and soon after passing Austin multiple times. Just not in his luck today.
I mean, but on the on the contrast though, his championship rival Michael, who stayed in the lead at the start of the race, he's been out of now 2 crashes. The crash into turn 1 did not affect him that much, and he obviously has not had to deal with Austin throughout this race. Getting that pit stop and only being behind Elijah has really helped him. He definitely benefited from that, I would say.
we see David starting to close the gap on his teammate.
And I mean, we see Elijah and the other McLaren right next to each other here. He's going to have to start closing this gap, but with only 14 laps left and 22 seconds behind, that will be a difficult task.
So we see the other McLaren pits.
All right, I mean, as Liam goes in for the pit stop here, it'll probably be the last one for him for the rest of the race here. Going on that 2-stop, I think, was the right call compared to the 3-stop that David obviously has to do. I mean, here, though, we see David has dropped the time now to just 1 second behind his teammate. And Mercedes being in P6 and 7 is not the start that they wanted to have compared to in Australia, where they were P2 and P6.
I see Elijah's helmet here taking a lot of inspiration from Lewis Hamilton's 2020 helmet. It's a good design, though.
It's a great style. I mean, he had a little bit of a slide there, but he is still in complete no man's land here. 25 seconds ahead of Austin and 23 seconds behind Caden here. He is a free pit stop, and he would not even... I mean, he'd get somewhat close to Austin, but still he would be in that P3 spot.
Seems like pitting now is the move, but he does seem to be going for the overcut, so we'll have to see what he decides.
And I mean, as we see Liam here now, just 6/10 behind Austin, now 5/10. We could see the move happen over here.
Considering what's happened earlier in the race, I fear to see that gap go down fairly fast.
I mean, anything could happen. We know how dangerous of a driver Austin is at this stage. Quite reckless. But here we see he was just he was 7/100ths off Austin, but now he's starting to drop back a little bit. Not too much battling has been happening, but Liam does get by Austin here. And Austin now drops. I believe he pitted now for new tires here.
This thing, that's what he did. He drops to the last place.
We've not seen too much battling here in the top 3. We saw a little bit in the first couple laps between Austin and Michael and David, but that was not... They would never got too close to each other as Michael kept a good lead. But now, I mean, everyone is kind of in their own no man's land, and no one has been catching up to anyone. And I mean, leader of the race here, as it stands, Michael will go up to 40 points and will be at the moment the leader for the championship. And as the 1-2 stands for Ferrari, they will be leading the constructors as well, with, I believe, McLaren just behind them.
You see David starting to close in the gap. He is now in DRS range. We'll see how quickly he can make this overtake.
Yeah. And I mean, as Dylan now pits, and so does Michael here, so Austin will go up into P6. We should see Caden take lead of the race here. Not net lead, as he still has to pit again for a new set of tires. So Michael goes on to the hards to finish off the race.
David is not fighting Elijah. I was wrong. David is fighting Liam. They seem to be battling here as they've made a pass and quickly lost position.
I mean, we can now see here for probably for the first battle we get to see here of the race. Starting to close up here. It's a Liam.
Through the S's, David seems to be struggling with the dirty air on this track, as we've seen earlier in the race. But coming into the corner exit, he has a pretty good run. We'll see if he's able to make the move.
I mean, we've seen here that he's had decent exits, though. He's been struggling behind people. We've seen Liam has actually had some pretty decent exits, but now, I mean, David has had a beautiful exit with the DRS, and he's probably putting some battery here, dumping a little bit. He's probably going to make the move. He does not make
backed
the move.
out.
You see here, staying here on the inside.
Riding
as
the
he
curve,
gets
the
through.
two.
Seems like Liam just gave up almost.
Running wide is almost never a good thing on your tires, as we assume Liam didn't decide to battle any further. David now has a 24-second gap to make up on Elijah, but Elijah does have to pit. So we'll see how that goes.
That will drop again, but we also have to remember David has been on those mediums for about 5 laps now. We saw how they only last like 8 or 9 laps, so he's going to have to make another pit stop soon, unless if he's going to try and stay on these for the rest of the race, which would be quite surprising if he actually does. As we see here, Elijah only 16 seconds behind Michael here. Probably going to go into the pits.
What compound is he going to choose?
He's going on to the hard tires here. And I mean, we also see as well between David and Liam, David has gained 2 seconds on Liam after battling him, so it's clear that Liam is probably struggling on his tires as well. He's probably going to come in for a pit stop.
And we see Elijah successfully came out in front of him, but he's most likely going to have to do some work to keep them behind.
As they go, we saw that they were all within even distance of each other here. We could see a 3-way battle for 3rd place. Crazy thing is too is this if Caden does not pit here, we've seen that he's not actually been losing that much time here to Michael throughout this these past couple laps. If he stays out, he could see the first win for Ferrari. And as I say that, is he pitted, and Michael has now regained the lead of the race. And something had just exploded behind Michael, but we have no idea what that was. Does not look like he hit a sign or a piece of his wing has broken off, so. And as we start to reach the end of this this race, David is the only one that I believe will pit again. So I think this will be probably the end result for this race here. I think where everyone's starting to settle in. Both 8 laps to go, anything can happen. Someone can spin and lose their position.
David has to pit. He's on used, I think, mediums. He just has no pace against the new hards with Elijah.
I mean, as it stands, he would be at 30 points compared to Michael at 40, who would have a 10-point lead in the championship. But stewards are still deciding if they would be willing to give him 2nd place points, even though he does not end up there. It would be an interesting solution to what happened between him and Austin. As he goes into the
and he's pitting.
I believe he's probably going to go on to the mediums. I would not see him going on to the hards again, but it would be interesting to see what Mercedes does for him as he goes on to the hards.
Words.
So hards do seem like a weird choice with only 8 laps to go in the race. He won't have the speed that the mediums will give him, but he will last a little bit longer, even though he does not need to last for that long anymore.
Seems like he almost could have gotten away with softs.
Yeah, I think he does not have any more, though. He used 2 in the beginning of the race.
This is true.
See, the gap to
So
Dylan is now 7 seconds for
Elijah seems to have spent almost his entire race in no man's land. He's still 30 seconds behind Caden and almost 15 ahead of Liam.
I mean, he has been fairly consistent, though, staying in that P3 almost the entire race, except for when David was still in P2. He just did not bring any pace to this race, which is quite unfortunate because we know how good of a driver he can be when he brings all 100% to a race. He'd be fighting for wins. But as it stands, Ferrari would have a massive points advantage out of the constructors with this first and second position, getting the most points that they could get with 43, unless Caden or Michael has a slip up. And I mean, McLaren won't be too far behind. They'll have they'll gain 27 points, and they'll go up to 49 points compared to Ferrari's 58 here. It'll just depend on how the FIA decides to deal with, the stewards decide to deal with David and his point situation.
See, nobody is near anybody in this race, so it doesn't seem like we'll be getting much action towards the end.
I mean, one thing though I can see is David has cut 2.5 seconds to Liam in just 1 or 2 laps, so we could see him close in and take P4 at the end of this race. And I mean, as we see here, David is now closing even closer to Liam here, down to just 6.5. I know we saw Austin up there. Michael is not too far behind him, and we'll probably see him lap Dylan by the end of this race.
It shouldn't be too difficult. We've seen a big disparity between the top and the back of the field today.
The skill gap between the front 3 and the back 3, definitely. It was seconds in qualifying. There was a 7-second gap between Michael's pole position and Austin in last place there. So, Liam, I believe, was in last in qualifying. And there was a 7-second gap between those two. I mean, the gap is not on a 4.2 here. We could see a little bit of battling here for P4 at the end of this race here. As There's only an 8.5 second gap between Michael and Caden for P1 and P2, but that is not going down nearly fast enough for us to see any action between those two. And I mean, the McLarens are really both in no man's land with a 35-second and 16-second gap, respectively, between them. But David is starting to close up to Liam here, and we could see him get up into P4.
David has gained over a second in the last lap.
I mean,
which is improving as Michael hasn't even finished the lap yet. It could reach 2.
And as here we see going in, it has been 5 laps since he has pitted, and he has went from 10 seconds behind to just 2.5. That is incredible pace here. If I would even say that if him and Austin did not collide there on lap 8, he would be in the lead of the race.
This pace, David should catch Liam. It's guaranteed. With, what is this, 3 laps left now?
We will have a close battle for 3rd place in the standings, with Elijah being at 27, with Chris, who did not show up to this race today due to just he wasn't able to make it in time. He would be at 25, with Liam at 22. They would be separated by 5 points.
As we see, David is almost in DRS range, and we're not even at the end of lap 26 yet. He's gained an entire second and is gaining more.
And as we see here, we can start to look at here as he cuts to the inside here and goes completely off the track to overtake. He's going to have to give that position back. I mean, I don't know what he was thinking there. He goes
That
off
cannot be legal. There we go.
Went off into the gravel there to give back that position, but I mean, he's still only 1.6 behind. He can easily win this time back. He's on newer hards, while looks like Liam is on some older hards here, which could make the big difference.
So we see just the magnitude of the gap between 1st and 5th, as Michael was nearing the middle of the lap, as we saw these two barely going around turn 1.
Yeah, we could truly see here. He's going to have some DRS here, though. This could be an overtaking opportunity here for David, as he is closing the gap a little bit, but he does not go for it. I was totally expecting him to make that move. He's going to play it patient, I think. He's going to maybe try and make the move up here, or maybe on the DRS range coming up. When he had a great exit over there, and he goes into the inside, and they're side by side going down to the final turn, and David gets ahead of him there. Tries to make the dive on Liam, but he goes
flies past.
I believe he may have tried to go for that dive
way
bomb.
off track.
I believe he tried to go for the dive bomb. That dive bomb was a fail, and he is now 1.3 seconds behind. He won't even get DRS out of this next turn here.
He is gaining the time back, though, with that slipstream as he goes wide.
I believe his tires...
we just see David on that.
His tires must be absolutely gone here, as he tries to fight back, but because of his tire wear being so high, I bet you he's just not able to keep it on track as well. And I mean, on another note, the gap between Caden and Elijah has now risen to almost 40 seconds. And as an average lap time around here is about 1 minute 30 seconds. That's almost half a lap ahead. Just quite crazy here.
Wow.
I mean, here we're going to...
Michael nearing the back of the grid. It's almost time to lap people.
Here we're going to see an onboard lap here of the leader here. If he can get through these last 2 turns, he will be the leader of the championship here, and will have his first Grand Prix win in just in general here. It'd be his first ever win. So I took it slow there. I'm guessing he does not want to push this car on these old hards here. He does not want to risk spinning out.
At this point in the race, already engineer would say, just bring it home. Seems to be what he's doing.
I mean, with that gap here. He's doing just that here. Starting to close up on the Mercedes, who's in last place. I mean, the gap now between him and Caden has actually risen from 8.5 to 11 seconds in the past couple laps here. When I said that the gap was not as large, it has definitely grown quite a bit. So you see the Mercedes up there. As we enter the final lap of the race, I can say it has been an interesting 29 laps of the Bahrain Grand Prix, but if I could describe it, I would say it was dominant, as Michael, from first lap to the 29th lap, he has been in the lead. He started on pole position. He has the fastest lap of the race. I mean, this is a grand slam. I don't know what else you could call it other than dominance.
With an 11-second gap, Michael has nothing to worry about as he goes through these S's, nearing his first Grand Prix win.
I mean, he even brings the gap up to 12 seconds there briefly, and him being 54 seconds ahead of Elijah, who is only in third place. That really shows you how much of a gap there is between him and the rest of the field. And David was gaining a lot of time there on Elijah, but it will not be enough to secure a podium position as Michael's coming around the final two corners here of this Grand Prix. We see him getting really close to Austin here, but I don't think he will lap him by the end of the Grand Prix. And as he passes the final corner to go onto the straight, Michael wins the Bahrain Grand Prix and takes his first victory for Ferrari and his first victory in Formula One. We can look at the standings here, as they did give David the 18 points for second place. He's now only 4 points behind Michael. Elijah is 9 points behind David for third. And I mean, we could slowly see the points fill out down to the bottom. And I mean, here we can also see the constructors. The Ferrari's now 6 points ahead of Mercedes. Mercedes is only 3 points ahead of McLaren. We could see a three-way battle going on here in the constructors. And that was
the consistency of these teammate pairs. We expect some swapping around.
I mean, this is a great race. We'll see you all in Saudi Arabia for race 3.